Early on in the company's history, we found out, 2006-ish, everyone had a different view as to what would work on the internet. Every producer was very independently going their own way, as they should, but we had a real great belief as what we thought would succeed with web series, consumers, and advertisers. And we found ourselves producing more and more original content to sort of set a template for what we thought would be successful. It worked really, really well, and by last year we started getting more and more involved working with independent producers and bringing more and more of them aboard. In our first 9 months, we had gotten to 100 million views. By last year, we had gotten to 30 million views a month and almost 1 billion views, in the aggregate since we launched. And over the course of the last year, NextNew Networks grew 500% from 30 million views a month to 150 million views a month, in large part because we started working back on our original strategy rather than producing all of the views ourselves with in-house productions, working with like-minded producers from around the world, bringing content in that we thought that would be useful, interesting to the audiences we had already developed, and audiences we thought were there to be developed.
So Fred, what is it that you offer to these producers, and why do they come to you, and what kind of arrangements do you make with them?
The arrangements are really simple. We make a financial arrangement where we split revenue on a variety of levels depending on the performance of the network, what kind of network it is, what age they attract, that type of thing. We think that what we've been able to do is help producers package themselves in a way that allow them to grow even faster and put them in an environment where we can cross-promote with all of the other views that we have with other networks that we have. So a great example, I think, are the Gregory Brothers, who you might know as Auto-Tune the News, where they started making these videos based on current events. They were fun, funny, and engaging musically. I think when they first came to us, their videos were doing about 50, 75,000, 100,000 views each. They hooked up with our Barely Political network, immediately jumped to 1 million views, and now their videos regularly get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, sometimes up from there.
What is your focus in terms of, bringing in new producers, because presumably you want to?
Yeah, we're primarily in the entertainment field. When we started out, you might remember we had a network called Verasifier where we worked with Josh Marshall at Talking Points Memo and TPM TV. We love all sorts of things. We're voracious consumers of television and video ourselves here at NextNew Networks. But we found that our sweet spot really is entertainment. We understand entertainment the best. Many of us are entertainment producers. Many of us have been entertainment media executives. Even the younger people here are attracted toward the entertainment side. And we found that our wheelhouse is best being able to build entertainment and nonfiction brands. Our view of ad sales is really pretty simple, which is where consumers are, advertisers want to be. And so we have spent most of our time, like as a company, making matches between entertainment, consumers, and advertisers. Sometimes some of it is passive revenue that just comes by being in business with YouTube. We're in their ad program. We're at the top level of their partnership. We're one of their top 5 partners overall in the world. We also go out and sell sponsorships directly to advertisers where we do branded kind of entertainment that will integrate the content of a particular episode with an advertiser, but in a way that is not at all off-putting to the consumer, because we find that the most important thing is you keep your consumers happy and they will be loyal to our shows and to the advertisers. The challenge is figuring out all the variety of ways to lead consumers to where they want to go. YouTube, as we all know, is very famous for its algorithms and the way that it moves people to content. That algorithm tends to honor what is happening this minute. It's very difficult for something that has to find an audience over time for that algorithm to be happy to them and really bubble up their content. So we as a company, other companies are always finding different ways to do it. There are the how-to networks that are out there. There are the business networks that are out there. There are the variety of people that are trying to coalesce content around a particular set of interests. On the other hand, you have people who have come out like Hulu, who are specializing in what they're calling premium content. We in the web original business would beg to differ. Premium content is in the eye and ear of the beholder. If I like it, it's premium. If I don't like it, it isn't. But Hulu has specialized in repurposing content. They're like Nick at Night and TV Land all the time. And they've done very well by, on a business side, packaging their advertising together with their traditional media networks and putting forth brands that we have heard of. There are a lot of different places in between there that I think all of us as consumers are struggling ourselves to get a handle on. The more I use a Netflix streaming application, the less I watch other kinds of things. The more old movies I watch, the less new movies I watch, because as much as I'm happy to watch television, what is the average, 7 hours a day in America? That 7 hours doesn't stretch all that far. If you've decided to look at an old movie, that means a new TV show might not be getting your attention. I was saying to somebody the other day from one of the movie studios that the real difficulty that the movie studios have isn't the internet and piracy. The difficulty is we now have the whole history of film media at our fingertips, and the more we use that history, the less we are inclined to go and do something new. We always want something new, but if it's a choice between something new that is only okay and something older that is great, we'll probably always default to the great if it's convenient for us. Bob Pittman, a guy that you know very well, 30 years ago said to me that convenience is where the consumer defaults to. And now that we have made everything convenient, our challenge as media people is how to get people to pay attention to our new offerings. It's difficult, but it is one that a lot of us are starting to struggle through and find solutions for.